So yeah, it's a really great company.
100% recommend it to everyone. It's hosted by Sleeping Giant Media, and I came away with what I felt was the makings of a strategy that I could actually apply to the business.
We've been working with Sleeping Giant Media for a little over 3 years. SEO, you've helped us with the migration of our website when we switched domains, content creation, outreach work. It's been a great customer experience. I know that if I'm not able to dedicate time to my own website, some weeks or even months, I know it's in good hands.
I've known Luke and Ant for years now, and I know they're good boys.
You can always get in contact with anybody there. It just gives us confidence. We started with very little knowledge of the industry, and again, they've worked with us over the time. They have the knowledge, the capability, and the real understanding of the kind of market we're in.
That they've been really open, really friendly. I definitely know that they push the boat on a lot of projects. Even though we say do this, they'll probably do 5 things going towards that. So yeah, it's been great.
You know, these people are experts in what they say they do. For us, they've been a massive positive and you know, moved the business forward.
It's been a great working relationship, and we look forward to it continuing.
We always get a quick response. If I send an email comes back. If I call up, people call back. It's probably doubled the amount of visits to the site, and conversions have gone up significantly.
I would not hesitate in recommending Sleeping Giant to non-competitors of mine.
We're big fans of Sleeping Giant Media and Giant Campus. We love all of the courses and we have learnt a lot. And everyone seems really happy and seems really keen to share their knowledge. So yeah, it's a really great company.
100% recommend it to everyone. It's hosted by Sleeping Giant Media, and I came away with what I felt was the makings of a strategy that I could actually apply to the business.
We've been working with Sleeping Giant Media for a little over 3 years. SEO, you've helped us with the migration of our website when we switched domains, content creation, outreach work. It's been a great customer experience. I know that if I'm not able to dedicate time to my own website, some weeks or even months, I know it's in good hands.
I've known Luke and Ant for years now, and I know they're good boys.
You can always get in contact with anybody there. It just gives us confidence. We started with very little knowledge of the industry, and again, they've worked with us over the time. They have the knowledge, the capability, and the real understanding of the kind of market we're in.
That they've been really open, really friendly. I definitely know that they push the boat on a lot of projects. Even though we say do this, they'll probably do 5 things going towards that. So yeah, it's been great.
You know, these people are experts in what they say they do. For us, they've been a massive positive and you know, moved the business forward.
It's been a great working relationship, and we look forward to it continuing.
We always get a quick response. If I send an email comes back. If I call up, people call back. It's probably doubled the amount of visits to the site, and conversions have gone up significantly.
I would not hesitate in recommending Sleeping Giant to non-competitors of mine.
We're big fans of Sleeping Giant Media and Giant Campus. We love all of the courses and we have learnt a lot. And everyone seems really happy and seems really keen to share their knowledge. So yeah, it's a really great company.
100% recommend it to everyone. It's hosted by Sleeping Giant Media, and I came away with what I felt was the makings of a strategy that I could actually apply to the business.
We've been working with Sleeping Giant Media for a little over 3 years. SEO, you've helped us with the migration of our website when we switched domains, content creation, outreach work. It's been a great customer experience. I know that if I'm not able to dedicate time to my own website, some weeks or even months, I know it's in good hands.
I've known Luke and Ant for years now, and I know they're good boys.
You can always get in contact with anybody there. It just gives us confidence. We started with very little knowledge of the industry, and again, they've worked with us over the time. They have the knowledge, the capability, and the real understanding of the kind of market we're in.
That they've been really open, really friendly. I definitely know that they push the boat on a lot of projects. Even though we say do this, they'll probably do 5 things going towards that. So yeah, it's been great.
You know, these people are experts in what they say they do. For us, they've been a massive positive and you know, moved the business forward.
It's been a great working relationship, and we look forward to it continuing.
Campus, we love all of the courses and we have learnt a a lot. And everyone seems really happy and seems really keen to share their knowledge. So yeah, it's a really great company.
100% recommend it to everyone. It's hosted by Sleeping Giant Media.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Business as Unusual show. It is a Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. It is that time where we can grab a beer, grab a coffee, and hopefully engage in some awesome conversations. I've got two guests with me today from locating Kent. So let's do the intro and introduce the two guests. Hi guys, and welcome to the Business as Unusual show. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Luke. I'm the CEO of Sleeping Giant Media and Giant Campus. So if you're on YouTube or other social channels, do please hang around, check out. We've got loads of content that we're releasing around digital marketing and how you can help utilize that to get your business into the new world. So I have two guests today. I'll introduce the team now. We are officially a team. We have Christine and we have Simon from Locating Kent. How are you guys doing?
Very good, thank you.
Very good, thanks.
Good. Can you just give us a bit of an intro? So anyone who hasn't heard of Locating Kent, firstly, I don't know why, but if you haven't, could you give us a bit of an intro as to what you guys do and how you help businesses?
So I'm Christine Moses, and my role at Locating Kent is to engage with Kent businesses. And at the moment, we've really been looking at how businesses have been affected, whether positively, negatively, during coronavirus, and helping them find a way out of it to reopen faster and to continue to grow.
Absolutely great. And is that something similar as well for yourself, Simon?
Yeah, so I oversee all of our business development team, which is the team that helps investors come to Kent and helps businesses in Kent to grow. So we have two roles, all designed around a single objective, and that's to create new jobs in Kent. And so that's either businesses coming to Kent and establish themselves there, and we've had a lot of success with that, and that's continuing, or it's to support businesses already here to grow as well. Great.
And Christine, you mentioned obviously trying to help those businesses during the coronavirus, and you mentioned some are kind of positively impact, some are negative. What are the sort of the general challenges that people are facing? I mean, I know it evolves significantly, but can you maybe just explain how that has changed for those businesses during the last couple of months?
It's moved very, very quickly from obviously lockdown being announced to having to shut and have to reorganize very, very quickly to get people to work from home and to maintain some activity if possible at all. I mean, some businesses have seen their revenue collapse and disappear overnight. And it's very difficult to say how it's really affected everybody across the country or the county, but some businesses have really shut down. Some, however, have been able to capitalize on opportunities and find new markets and new ways to make revenue, and have actually done okay during the period. And that's the tranche in between that have seen revenue decline, sometimes 50%, sometimes more, actually 70%. Yeah. So our role has been to help them out, signpost some of the resources and budgets, in particular funding available to cope during the period. So from the furlough and the civils, etc. And now we're kind of helping rebuild or reopen anyway. We've got a best practice in terms of social distancing and how to implement that in factories and in retail and other areas, so we can help people reopen quickly, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel and do it all yourself. We've got some resources and people that have already done it. Awesome. and we can help you connect with those so that you can implement that.
And is that available on the website? Is that available on your website, that information?
It is available on the website.
Okay, great. So the guys have just posted in the chat, although it was a link to the case study, the Sleeping Giant Media case study. But again, you can go to the Locating Kent website there and find out that information, because it's a bit of a minefield, isn't it? There's quite a lot to consider.
There is a lot to do, yes.
Yeah. How does I mean, there's good news about the 2 meter dropping down to 1 meter. I mean, that makes it suddenly a lot more viable for businesses, because I think we were looking at 2 meters, and that was nearly impossible to kind of make that work. I mean, how kind of significant is that for businesses?
I think for some industries like retail and hospitality, it's life changing, or life saving. So I think it's a really good move.
Brilliant. And Simon, can you give me some reasons why you should have a business in Kent? Okay, you know that I'm an advocate anyway, but sell it to me. Why Kent? What's the best thing about Kent?
Well, I can fill the next half hour if you want.
Well, we've probably got about 5 minutes. So, but just condense it, bullet points.
Yeah, of course. But look, the headline reasons that most businesses are choosing to come to Kent is, firstly, it's a great place to live. So nobody wants to move their business somewhere they don't want to live. So Kent, biggest coastline in the UK. Great cities, great culture, great places to live, great education, all the rest of it. So that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
People want to live here, so they want their business to be here. The second one is our proximity to the greatest city in the world. Folkestone, less than an hour. Ashford, less than 40 minutes. I live near Bluewater. It's 17 minutes from Ebbsfleet to London. So with proximity to, and sometimes I think
thought you were going to claim that Folkestone was going to be the greatest city in the country then, but I'm assuming you're talking about London.
Well, Folkestone's up there. I'm sure there's a category that it's greatest at, and probably the greatest seaside.
I like it.
But you can pick on any part of Kent and find something completely unique. So you can look at Margate, look at Turner, you can look at Folkestone, look at some of the culture and the skateboarding park when that comes.
Yeah.
So any part, Canterbury, and you've got the cathedral. It's like any part of Kent has got something completely unique, and but to have that, and sometimes we get complacent about how important London is or how fantastic it is because we live so close to it. But people, and again, from investors coming from around the world that want to come to the UK, their starting point is always London, and then kind of work out from London, and I'll go and look at some of our neighbouring counties. None of them have our connectivity. None of them are such a great place to live. So that's principle. Now, on top of that, some of the commercial reasons, great skills. We've got a skilled workforce. We've got great investment. We've got access to capital and access to markets. So there are commercial reasons.
You've sold me. I mean, I'm already here and I've already got an office there. But if I were to move out, I would definitely want to come back based on what you just said. And I totally agree with you. We did a kayaking event, and I think it was about 5 years. No, longer than that. 6 years ago now, I think. And we did the entire Kent coastline, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So we did it over 4 days. Camping out as we went, and it was just stunning. Some of the places that I massively took for granted, and then suddenly you see it and you're like, wow, what a special place to be. And then dodging ferries at the same time, so that was
that's best. Well, look, Monday afternoon I was up on Western Heights in Dover, which I think is probably the highest point in Dover, looking down on the docks, looking down on the white cliffs, and the opportunity to create some amazing digital and creative jobs up there are incredible. And you can get a cynic and say, yeah, but why would why would a Microsoft or a Google come to Dover? And then it's like, well, you go down to Dover on a sunny day and you look over at France and you look to the Channel and you think, but I'm still hour and a half to London, and you think, yeah, this is where I want to be. And well, you can't drive across London in an hour and a half. So we have a phenomenal opportunity, and we've just during lockdown, we've seen some phenomenal success stories. Newtown Works in Ashford has got its planning consent. Like I said, we've got a big warehouse at Dartford, 2.3 million square foot, most sustainable warehouse in the country. That's got planning consent.
Awesome.
We're building a hydrogen plant to fuel all the buses in London, so there's zero carbon. All of these successes are all chosen Kent because it's a place where a business could thrive.
Fantastic. No, I love the passion, and I share the enthusiasm for the area. So I'm going to quickly cut to hang on, this scene, because I feel this is the right time to talk about this. So there's a bit of a game. We're going to test you on that. Now this is our case study. So a while ago we were asked to be part of the Locating Kent sort of promotion of Kent, because obviously it's something we're really kind of proud of as well. So I'm going to run this video, and then we're going to ask you some questions. This is from producer Alex. Some questions on the video. Most of them are aimed at embarrassing me, so that's nice. We can so if we'll watch the video, and then I'll quiz you on some of the content. Here we go. So my name's Luke, I'm the CEO of Sleeping Giant Media, Giant Campus and Pocket Giant. They're the three businesses that we own and run, all focused around the digital sector.
Hello, I'm Managing Director of Sleeping Giant Media, Giant Campus and Pocket Giant. My role is to kind of oversee day-to-day operations across the three brands with a particular focus on Sleeping Giant Media.
We started in 2008, so kind of prior to the recession, had no capital, had no experience, literally started from kind of absolute zero. Just naivety, a bit of misplaced confidence and some determination, kind of got us off the ground.
We very quickly realised that Kent's a fantastic place to kind of be based, with great connectivity into London and across the country. Great opportunities to kind of find really engaged and motivated potential employees. The results have been fantastic. When we started up, you know, we had this perception, which was incorrect, that you needed to move out of Kent to be in London. Actually, there are some incredibly successful businesses based all around the county, a number of which are our clients. We had no idea they existed. Until you look, you don't know they're there. There's so many great success stories kind of from Kent.
I think Kent's a really great place to be for the digital and creative industry, and I think that kind of community allows you to bounce ideas around and be energised.
Definitely, yeah, the creative digital sector is a great place. Lots of opportunity there. There is a talent pool down here, so there really is the opportunity to bring your business to Kent and grow it. And more than just that, it's a fantastic place to live, it's a fantastic place to be. It's not just about work, we're talking about life and a blended balance. So I think Kent's a great place to start up, to grow a business and to live. And all of those things combined make it a great proposition.
Look at that, would you believe it? That is doing your job for you guys. That is that's
It's a great case study.
I've just noticed that clever edit when they talked about talent pool, and it cut to your ball pool, and I just thought.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Clever bit.
I like that. Yeah. Good work. Yeah. So yeah, that was us doing your job there for you, shouting about the kind of the Kent, the kind of the awesomeness of Kent. We now go into the questions, okay? So let's just see if you can get these. Let's have a quick look. So here we go. How many times do you think that I looked at Ant during the video? I was trying to be nice there. I was trying to make sure that I was making decent eye contact, kind of, but apparently now they're taking the mickey out of me for it. So how many times do you think? 2 times, 4 times, 7 times?
I'll give 7.
Yeah, Ant's a good-looking fella. I think you're bound to want to look at him during the session.
That's kind of my...
Let's go 7.
Let's go with 7. I like it. Let's have a look. It's 7. And he only looks at me twice. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if I should take offence. Next one. Both of you correct with that one. So how many times do Ant and Luke fit the word giant into 1 minute and 40 seconds?
I'm going lucky 7 again.
Gonna go 7?
I'm going for 9.
Going for 9. Let's have a look. It is 7. Simon with 2, Christine with 1. It's a lot of times. It's a lot of times. But then, oh God. So this, I was super tired. Okay, I've got 2 kids, young kids, and they kept me up. You can see by the massive bags under my eyes. But how many times do I blink during the video? Is it A, 30, B, 47, or C, 55 times? It was a lot of blinking. I did notice that myself.
I'll go in the middle, 47.
47.
I'm going higher.
Okay, so you're going 55. That's a lot of blinking.
Yeah.
You are correct. And producer Alex, I'm impressed the fact that you sat there for 1 minute 40 seconds watching my eyes just open and close. So dedication there is pre-show. Good work. Thanks for that. And finally, how many times is the word Kent used within that? 3 times, 6 times, or 8 times?
I'm going 8.
Go 8.
I'm going 8.
Going 8 as well. it's an impressive 6 times. Not as many as Giant, if I remember. Oh, 7 Giants, wasn't it? 7 Giants and 6 the use of Kent. So, but I think that's still quite a lot. I think hopefully we got our briefing right. We were told to say Kent a lot, which I think we kind of covered off. But we're very, very proud to be part of the area, and hopefully some of the guys listening in will kind of consider it as an option. Just to say, guys, in the chat, if you've got any questions for either Christine or Simon, please do chuck them in the chat. We can kind of put those across during the interview. Would you believe it? We have already reached the halfway mark. It's Mark Ruffalo today. We're running out of marks. So there's another question for the chat, as if you know of any marks that we can use as part of our halfway mark, please do put those comments in the chat. We're kind of recycling them. We've had, I think, Mark Ruffalo twice now, and I think we've had Mark Zuckerberg twice. So we do need to freshen this up. So if you've got any ideas, please do let us know. So moving into kind of your personal world, what have you been up to during lockdown? How have you been finding it? Maybe starting, Simon, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, been great. So I've got a daughter, and unlike Christine, I haven't had to do the home teaching. So, and I know Christine's had a bit of a challenge with that. But it's been great to get some family time. It's been great to have time to run and have no excuse for not keeping fit. So a friend of mine said, "Look, we're all going to come out of this a hunk, a chunk, or a drunk," and. Early on, I was heading towards drunk, and I think, I'm not going to go as far to claim I'm a hunk, but
you've redirected. You headed that direction.
Hopefully, less chunk.
Right.
Less chunk.
Okay.
I think I'll be less chunk.
Fair.
But look, we've been really full on busy, supporting businesses and doing inward investment. So it's just been great being at home, getting family time for me. That's been the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking pre-show. Do you have a background that makes it looks like a sort of virtual background, but that is in fact a real background? That is a Kallax on display there, everybody. You can get those at IKEA if you want to. So yeah, you've done well with the background there, Simon.
Thanks.
Yeah, looks great.
Well, one of my ambitions is, have you seen a guy on Twitter who does background rating? Is that one day I'll get picked up on that and I'll get a decent score on it.
I think you do really well. As I said, I was checking it out. I was like, is that a virtual background? But no, it's legit. So no, it's impressive. Christine, how?
Well, if the guys in the chat could give me like more than 9 out of 10, I'll be chuffed for that.
Right, yeah, exactly, guys.
That would mean a lot.
Out of 10 background rating for Simon. What do we think? Christine, over to you. How has kind of lockdown been for you? Simon mentioned some homeschooling challenges.
Yeah, some big homeschooling challenges. I think I've given up on that now. What happens in September when school starts again. Otherwise, very busy. I'm just really lucky that I've redid my cellar last year, so I had a beautiful office to work from, and I made it fairly comfortable. And then apart from that, I've been trying out some new local suppliers.
Awesome.
So for the first time in my life, I've bought some Chapel Down wine and gin. I've been shopping at some local farm shops and retail outlets, and discovered some just loads of new brands and products that I just didn't know existed.
Awesome. No, it's great. And how did you find the Chapel Down?
Fabulous.
Good answer. I like it. It's a really, really good. Which one did you have? Did you have the Bacchus?
Well, I got the combo Brut gin, and I made the English 75, and I totally recommend it.
Awesome. That's very cool. And I've got, just to cut to this, we have a few. This is just shows some of the challenges and things that people are going through right now. I thought this was a nice one. So this is somebody coming out of lockdown, seeing McDonald's chips for the first time.
Oh, Jesus Christ, the chips.
So she's very excited about getting the McDonald's chips. So that's kind of maybe not going down the hunk approach, perhaps, but or the fitness aspect, but loving the McDonald's chips there. And this is a nod. Oh, crikey, that's loud. I'm going to just turn the volume down a touch. This is the nod that we were all hoping to get in the summer, i.e. going down a water slide. And unfortunately, these are the ones that we're currently getting. We're allowed to go shopping into Tesco's. So again, it's going to be a mixed bag when it comes to kind of lockdown. Is there anything that that you've established during lockdown that you're hoping to carry forward into the new world? Maybe Christina, do you want to start?
Yeah, we're doing some family PT session now on Sunday morning, which is great.
Oh, awesome.
So outside in the garden, we've got kettlebell each, TRX, and doing a huge amount of burpees, which I can now manage. So I'm very proud of that.
They are intense. They are very intense. Simon, anything that you're looking to carry forward? Are you enjoying the working from home?
Oh, I love it, and it's so much more productive. And I'm lucky; I've got a great view over the River Thames, and it's great. You know, I love it, absolutely love it. It's great. No, I think we've started playing board games and cards. I've taught my daughter some card games. I haven't quite got up to poker yet, but I'm going to try and ease her up to poker. I've taught her drafts, and which I remember my dad teaching me at drafts, and he would never let me win, and I had the same policy with her until she beat me, and so now obviously I just tell her I let her win. Of course. But no, cards and board games is something I think we'll keep going.
Brilliant. No, it's great. I mean, it's great to hear them. There's so many kind of good things that that we've almost, you can see the British culture has kind of done through what is obviously a less than optimal situation. The kind of innovation that's come out. Now, moving back into the business space, are there any innovations that you've seen, any local businesses that you wanted to kind of shout out, say that they've done a wicked job, and maybe inspire some of the guys watching to say, look, there is always something that you could be doing, no matter how bad the situation might sort of seem and feel. Is there any examples or innovation that you could potentially share?
Yeah, I think well, there's two that stand out for me, and I'm sure Christine's got a couple as well. Is one is a business called Watts Farms, and a big producer of wholesale. They grow and they also source fresh produce and sell it into the wholesale market. Well, most of that, and it's been phenomenal to see their story and how they've pivoted from wholesale to retail, and I suspect some of that business will stick with them, and they'll keep that. And certainly we've had a few boxes from their box scheme, and look, what's better than having fresh produce grown within a day or two delivered to your door? So and that's something that's, well, it's not unique to Kent, but it's something we've got in abundance. So that's been pretty phenomenal for me.
Yeah.
Another interesting one on the same basis that was a big B2B business that's pivoted to B2C. It's Jackson Fencing. So they invested quite significantly in their online presence sometime before lockdown, and they produce fencing for building sites and commercial sites, schools, all sorts of establishments. Of course, again, a lot of that stopped fairly quickly into lockdown. Yet people at home on furlough or just working from home suddenly, I'm going to fix that fencing panel, I'm going to put a new fence up. And because they had invested in that online presence, picked up that market share. And again, I don't think that market share will go away. So there's a couple of businesses there that have one that's just reacted quickly, which is one that had already invested. And I think, this shock that we've been through, that we're coming out of now, won't be the only shock in the next 18 months. We'll go through it again, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And even if not, we need to prepare for maybe a difficult Brexit or whatever.
Did you just say the B word?
I'm afraid I did. It's not a honk.
I thought I'd escaped that word for a while, but it's back on the table, isn't it? It's I forgot it is going to come back on the table.
Well, that was the thing that kept coming up in our meetings at the start of this. Everyone's like, "Can't we just talk about Brexit again rather than this?" And it's like, well, now we can go to the pub. Brexit's back on the.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I can't change that, but it's just great seeing companies that invest and that can be flexible, and I think every business can learn from that.
Brilliant. Christine, is there any examples that you wanted to kind of call out of businesses able to kind of pivot or adapt or change? Any sort of innovative ideas?
I think for me the e-commerce is key. We've seen a few producers now becoming retailers, and that's brilliant. So that's really worked. I think some brands have really done really well on social media as well, so really amplify their presence there, and creating some new content so that, you know, where you would go to the shop or you would normally go to the premises to experience the brand, they've really brought that into the social media. So I've really loved that. And from our point of view, I work with a lot of B2B companies, and although it's not as you can't really see it so much, they've invested in CRM systems and in ERP systems, which I think in the future will really help them be more effective and be more productive in their marketing, and the automation piece as well, in terms of, you know, gaining time and be more efficient would be great.
Awesome. And actually, one of the things that kind of leads to is, what skills do you think are going to be required for businesses? What are the things that businesses are going to need to start thinking about to make them relevant and kind of more effective in the new world?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. And inside businesses, if you think of digital transformation or using technology, that's normally been the jargon of big companies. And you know, they can afford to hire an IBM and what have you. Smaller businesses now, and we've seen it in our own business, working from home, I'd probably say 95% of our processes stood up okay, but there were some things that all of a sudden it was like, well, how do we do expenses? You know, where do I, you know, how do I staple receipts to stuff and so, but so I think those skills of having someone in the business that can think about how to improve process, how to digitize process, is going to be really important for resilience going forward. But I think underlining, I think all businesses is that I encourage all business owners to get, as best they can, some formal leadership and management education.
Yeah.
So you know, we're hoping to release some summer school information in the next few weeks with the Kent universities, aimed at business owners going away and getting a taster for an MBA or getting a taster for a strategy and management type degree, where they kind of understand from an academic background how you use these kind of skills in your business. Because, you know, best will in the world, you know, most businesses grow up with someone being very good at doing something. You know, they're a very good butcher, or they're a very good baker, or they're very good whatever it is. And before they know it, they've got people working for them, and you know, they're also good bakers or butchers, whatever they do, but they've never had that kind of formal training on how to lead. And so every business should be invested in that.
Yeah, excellent. No, I totally agree. Is there anything else to add to that, do you think, Christine?
I agree. I think change management will be important. One, to drive that change and to implement that change. And I want to say marketing, because business is tough out there. You know, it's competitive, margins are tight. So actually, to grow your business, you're going to need to be very strategic in terms of where you invest in, whether it's the markets or the products, and equally where you divest from. And from there, how to go to market. So I'd like to think, you know, marketing, an ability to go to market in a very strategic and targeted way would be critical moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing kind of, obviously lots of businesses have had to move online because of, you know, more of a survival thing. But then the next thing that comes up will be how to stand out. How do I kind of, you know, grab more of that kind of market share? So that's going to be a challenge that a few businesses are going to face. Yeah, and stay relevant. Absolutely. Yeah, constantly kind of evolving. Is there anything else that you mentioned about? I think it was talking about sort of the some of the social work as well, as kind of the impact that you guys have been doing there. Is there anything you wanted to kind of expand on to update people?
Yeah, I think I'm going to let Christine expand on it a little bit more. But obviously, there's a lot of, particularly manufacturers, that were their customers stuck, couldn't take their product, and they're having trouble getting supply chain, that have kind of pivoted to work on. So really early on, you know, first 6 weeks of lockdown, we were working on the national effort and helping businesses how they could step up. So there's, you know, some great examples of like Church and Dwight in Folkestone, Shepherd Neame, and the brewery, the distiller in Medway. I've forgotten their name. That have started making. Sorry.
Copper Rivet.
Copper Rivet, that have started making hand sanitizer. But we've got some gross businesses that have done face masks. Do you want, Christine, do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, we've got a few businesses who had to shut down production because of coronavirus. Either they couldn't get the material in, or or the demand just wasn't there anymore. So, and they volunteered to make masks to AFNOR specifications. So they're textile masks, so they're washable, but they're totally to specs, and they're making them in their factories, which is really brilliant. So and that effort was coordinated by our colleague Mark at Locate in Kent, and it's fantastic. And they've been supplying some really big customers. I think there was a delivery to Disney earlier this week, and so some really big orders, which is fantastic.
That is, and I mean, it's incredible how this single event has helped to bring us all together as well, which is I think is at least some sort of silver lining to what has been a pretty dark cloud for quite some time. So guys, we have run out of time, in fact, but that was fascinating. I love the passion for the local area, big fan as well. So thank you very much for joining me on the show, and thanks very much for your insights and hopefully some ideas and innovation there for people to take away. So thank you very much.
Oh, thanks for having us, Luke. I think this is a great example of innovating during the difficult times, so well done.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it doesn't always run smoothly, but yeah, we try to do something that hopefully makes isolation feel a little bit less isolating. But yeah, thanks again for joining us today. So guys, that is it from us today. We will be back here again on Friday at 4:30. We have Aaron Taylor from 62 Designs, so it's going to be an interesting conversation talking about the challenges they face, their clients have faced, and hopefully some ideas to share. So thanks again for watching. Look forward to seeing you again on Friday. Thanks again.